Does God approve of transgenderism? Short answer, no. Long answer, God made us our gender because it's for us. God made me my gender because it's for me, and God made you your gender because it's for you. And when we decide like we want to be, when we decide we want to be the opposite gender because the opposite sex wants to, the opposite sex has, because we have different interests. Okay, when we decide we want to be the opposite sex because they have, because we have the same interests as many people of the opposite sex do. Excuse me. It means that we're ungrateful for the gender that we have been created. So we've been ungrateful. So it means that we're ungrateful for the gender that we've created. So when it comes to being transgender, here's what it means to be a woman. Being a woman is not about the dresses. It is not about the makeup. It is not about the jewelry. It is not about the hairstyles. It's not about the fashion. It's not about the toys. It's not about the Barbies. It is not about the mood. It's not about the girly stuff. It's not a mood. It's not something that you feel. It's something that you are born with. It's something that you are born with. Like, it's the reproductive organs that you are born with. And let's say, for example, you are female and you are missing the reproductive organs. You still have the the XY, wait, no. The XX chromosomes. You still have the XX chromosomes with you that says that you still do have the XX chromosomes that say that you are a woman. But here's the thing when it comes to this. Like, when it comes to a woman, you can have boyish interests and it doesn't make you any less of a woman. You can be a girl in like video games. You can be a girl in like anime. You can be a girl in like action anime. You can be a girl in like Halo, shoot 'em up games. You can be a girl in like boy clothes. You can be a girl in like, you can be a girl in like clone. You can be a girl in like you can be a girl in like many other stuff. You can be a girl in like many other stuff. Like, there's a lot of boy stuff that girls can like. You can even be a girl in like the color blue. You don't have to wear pink all the time. Like, you can be a girl in like all kinds of boy stuff. Like, even though I shouldn't be saying boy stuff because it like stereotypes what guys like you can be a guy in like stereotypical girly stuff, like, and it doesn't make you any less of a guy, but I'm just saying that for educational purposes. So yeah. So one thing about being a woman is like, being a woman is not a mood. It is not something that you feel, and it's not something that you feel. It is not, it's not something that you feel. It is not none of that. It is the reproductive organs. That's what it means to be a woman. And if the woman ain't got that, then she's got to at least have the XX chromosomes. So, one thing about this, so long answer, no. God does not approve of transgenderism. One thing about transgender people, some of you guys are trans because you have been molested in the past and you think that transgender being transgender is gonna make it less likely to happen, is gonna make it less likely to happen and be like, no, no, it's not. Whether you're transgender or not, being transgender is not gonna make, it's not gonna solve your problems. Like, let's say for example, you are a woman who's been molested in the past and you have transgendered into a man. You transitioned into a man. You got the strength of you still got the strength of a woman. You you can still get raped. You can still go through women problems. Like one time, like let me tell you something, even a man can get raped. Like one time I saw a man running away from this truck. This truck was catching up to him too. This truck had this man, this 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 white guy. I'm sorry, but it was like this white dude. Like he was whistling at him, like I can't whistle, but I was like the cat caller. He was trying to rape him. He was chasing him. Thank God I didn't see it, but I saw him chasing him. I saw him chasing the skinny guy. He was after him to rape him. I'll tell you something, men can get raped too. Like, girl, you got the strength of a woman. That's something that will never change. Like, you gotta take a woman's defense, you gotta take a woman's self defense class. You gotta take a woman's self defense class. Excuse me. You gotta take a woman's self defense class. Learn some street smarts techniques. So, yeah, gotta take those classes. And then it can help you stay safe off the streets. So, yeah, you gotta take a woman's self defense class. Maybe do like a karate, taekwondo. Maybe not those classes. Maybe something, maybe like, something that targets women, targets women. I always say woman. But it's like, it's women. Something that targets women. Something that works, something where you can use your fists and your feet. Look up martial arts where you can use your fists and your feet. So, yeah. Some of you are transgender because you have interest in things of the opposite sex. You have interest in things that the opposite sex, that many people of the opposite sex like. Let me tell you something. It doesn't make you any less of a girl for liking boyish things, and it doesn't make you any less of a boy for liking girlish things. You shouldn't have to be a boy to like boy things, and you shouldn't have to be a girl to like girl things. You're just a girl with different interests, and you're just a boy with different interests. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, if you're a dude and you say you like Barbie Girl, you like the song Barbie Girl, You can be like, I like Barbie girl. I'm a dude who likes Barbie girl. This is my song. Anybody who don't anybody who don't like it, just go home. So yeah. Or something like that. Anybody who don't like it when I listen to Barbie girl, I mean, just go home. That's what I mean. But yeah. Uh so when it comes to that, you shouldn't have to be the opposite sex to like things of the opposite sex. So like things that the opposite sex like. Some of you are transgender because you've biases gone through some biases as your biological gender, so you think that transitioning to the opposite sex is going to make your life easier. And let me tell you something, no, it will not. Transitioning to the opposite sex is only going to is going to lead you to problems of the opposite sex. Like, it's going to lead you into going through problems of the opposite sex. Will probably might be worse worse than the problems of the biological gender. Like, the problems that the opposite sex goes through might be worse than the problems that your biological gender go through. If that's, I'm having problems with my grammar, but you know what I'm saying. It will not solve your problems. Some of you are transgender because you think that you like the aesthetic of the heterosexual relationship. So you think you can like mock it to a degree. Like mock it as in like, how do I say it? Like you can just be transgender to date somebody of the opposite sex. More like you want to have this heterosexual relationship, so you thought this wouldn't count as if you were to transition to have to date somebody who is of the same sex, who is not transgender, So, oh my eye, allergies, God help me. Who is not transitioning. So, yeah. One thing about that is like, it's not love. You are in it for the aesthetic. You're not in it for you're not in it for the actual you're not in it for the actual love part. You're not in it for the actual courtship. Like, you're in it for the aesthetic. Because it's literally a homosexual relationship. So one thing about this transgender people thing is, here's the thing. I don't have nothing personal against transgender people. You guys are people, and you have every right to be treated like people. And fellow Christians, Transgender people, they are people and they have every right to be treated as people. Okay? Treat them like human beings. Don't go around treating them like crap. Okay? At least to their face, call them by their pronouns. Call them by their pronouns. Don't make fun of them. I don't care how stupid it seems. Call them by their pronouns, even if it's obvious that they look like their biological gender. Call them by their pronouns. Treat them like human beings. Love them. They do not need to be treated any different. They do not need to be hated. They do not need to be called any names, none of that. We can all agree to disagree. We can all agree to disagree. We do not have to hate each other. We don't have to do none of that. All right? God bless.